What is up? What is going on, everyone? Dave at SVA Card Collectors, and I'm trying something different here. I'm actually videotaping live on Instagram. I have it turned around, so I won't be able to see your comments. I really don't care what you have to say anyway, but hopefully you enjoy the show. And away we go. So, I made a mistake. I did not say happy birthday to Mr. Don Mattingly yesterday. I had it written down, but I got all jazzed up about 1990s inserts that I totally forgot about it. So we were going to do a month of Mattingly, but I'll just do a second of Mattingly. So happy birthday to the greatest first baseman ever to live, of all time, ever, Mr. Don Mattingly. So now what am I going to talk about today? Me, started looking up, since the draft is coming up on Thursday. I believe it's Thursday. And a little breaking news: Gronk is coming back. What happened? Gronk is coming back, and then he wants to be traded so he can be with Tom Brady. And that's a crazy thing here. Because it just seems to me everybody's jumping ship on the Patriots, meaning the people that are there. You've always heard like rumblings, but because they won so much, who cares, right? But now that Tom Brady left and the fact that Gronkowski left, people, maybe they're just tired of the way Belichick is. I have no doubt in my mind they will finish first. They will beat the Bills, they'll beat the Dolphins, and they'll beat the Jets probably 3 times. They'll figure out a way to play them again and beat them. So we got that. So everybody and their mother, if you have Gronkowski cards, put them up now. They've already a ton have sold already. What you should be doing, if you wanted to, what you should be doing anything. But I wanted to talk about football cards, and in particular, the last 2 years, 2018 and 2019. You have the drafts coming up, and yes, I've said that before, like 3 times already, because I'm trying to segue through. What I need to start doing, and I'm going to do it right now. If you guys like this content, if you don't like it, then don't put the thumbs down. Just put the thumbs up, because whatever, that's just a jerk thing to do. Like, subscribe, comment. That really does help me out. I'm going to start posting this stuff on YouTube, and you see my pretty face. But I'll also extract this audio and throw it in a podcast format, so people can, enjoy. Let's see if it works a little bit better with the face instead of just the screen that I have, just showing what I'm talking about. So, draft coming. I believe Burrows is going to be the first pick. Outside of that, who the hell knows? And I don't know any of the guys, to be honest with you. I haven't been following too close. I just know the Jets are going to screw whatever they're going to do. They're going to screw it up. So it'll be fun watching that. But I started to go back, and I was looking at prices of 2018 Panini Prisms, Optics, and Select, and they seem to all be pretty much the same thing. Back in January and February, they were low. And then right now, March to April, they are high. Low to high. You have some of like Darnold's cards. I think they were right now. You know what? I know right now they're like at 90, 95, borderline 100. I think he right now, even though Gary V was pumping him, is still the best buy out of the bunch, because I'm putting my Jet hat on, but I do believe he is the better quarterback out of the bunch, outside of Lamar Jackson. So Baker Mayfield's, Josh Allen, Rosen, he's not even in existence anymore. I'm so happy that I invested in him. Daniel Jones and Kyler Murray. I think out of all those, he's one of the better ones, or the top ones, and he's priced the lowest. Now, it could be because he's with the Jets, which is really understandable. Baker Mayfield's a little bit like 115. Same thing with Josh Allen. He's a little bit lower. But Daniel Jones, he's right there too, which is a little crazy. And Kyler Murray is just absolutely insane. I don't remember, and I just looked this up before, and that's the worst part. I looked it up, and I don't remember. So I'm going to look it up here real quick. But it was like, I know they were going for like 100. You know what? I don't want to tell you guys the wrong thing. Let me just look it up for 1 second here, which makes for a great podcast. You know, you really wanted people to just listen to you as you type on the keyboard. Yeah, that's what I was figuring. They were going for like 100, 110, his base cards. I'm talking about base cards. I'm not talking about hollows. And now they're 325. He's nowhere near 3 times as good as the rest of these guys. Lamar Jackson, same thing. You missed out on Lamar Jackson, boy. You could have bought his cards real cheap. I'm talking about low 200s, and now they're 5s for his cards. Hollows, different beast. Way more money. Trying to find. It's hard. This sometimes they don't do a really good job. Yeah, $359 for his base Lamar Jackson. So I'm not a big fan of. I think Lamar Jackson is amazing. I just don't think long term he's going to survive. I think he's just going to get pounded on, and not in the jail sense, but just in a normal, not in that type of sense. I just think that he is. They run a lot with him, and there's a lot of plays of him running, and he has blockers in front of him, and which is good, but that's going to take a toll on him. I feel anyway. So I think he's not gonna survive. And then he'll get hurt, just like Michael Vick. Vick was great, and then he just got hurt, and then after a while, he fizzled out. And then the dogs we got the dogs. They got a problem with that, and so I had a problem with that too. That's crazy what he was doing, but that's beside the point. So yeah, I mean, also optic, the same thing. If the optics, they all went up 50%, 75%. Prisms doubled for most of these guys. That's more of the hollows. They doubled. The base cards, like Darnold, was at 60, 50, 70, right around there. Now he's like at high 90s. And that's pretty much where they all went. Him, Baker, Josh. Lamar Jackson went down to 150, 125, 175, right around that range. And now he's like at 350. Optics, not as expensive, but they are rising as well. I know Sam Darnold, I was buying them for $20, $25 PSA 10s. Now they're starting to go for a little bit higher. They don't have as many on the internets, and maybe that might be a place where you go on Facebook or you go on Instagram and try to find those cards, because on eBay they don't have too many of them, but that's where you want to be. Daniel Jones is the same thing. I think he's priced okay. I think it's just a good investment if you buy it. I would have liked it better 2 months ago. But I think with the hype, it'll continue to go up. And if there is real football, if they have football, I think it's just going to continue to rise. I don't know how they're going to do the training camp and the preseason. They probably that's cray. They probably won't have preseason games. They'll probably just maybe have one game and then right into playoffs, the regular season. That's what I think. So I've been doing a lot of research on it, and it's just crazy how much these prices are going. And again, football, if you haven't been listening to my podcast, football is just quarterbacks. Nothing else really matters. It doesn't. Running backs, wide receivers, offensive tackles, defensive linemen, linebacker. It doesn't. They don't care. Nobody cares about them. They're just whatever. They're just. It's a one position, sports card, and that's the only reason why I don't like football that much. I loved football when I was a kid, collecting cards, football cards and stuff like that, but it's really turned me off just because of it. And so I don't go too crazy into it, but I know that you have the draft coming up. Minshew is another guy that his stock is rising, so I think he was also at $100, which I think is a little too high for my liking, if I remember correctly. I think Gardner Minshew, the better bet would be to buy his raw base cards because they are pretty cheap. They're $12. No, they're not as high. They're like 86 for his PSA 10s for his base cards. But his raw cards you can get anywhere from $15, but with taxes, you're talking about $15-20. So I think that's probably where the best bet is at. Just take a look at the centering. That's really the key on these. Look at a PSA 10 and then just compare it. You should be able to eyeball it well enough where you'll know right off the bat, hey, this is a 9 or an 8, more of 9 because of the centering. I can't get this. But you look at a 10. If you have a 10 PSA 10 and you put a raw card right next to it, you should be able to tell the difference. If not, get a magnifying glass, get glasses, be a dork about it, because some things it's pretty obvious. Other times it's not, and sometimes you are going to gamble a little bit because people like to play games and tricks. If people are playing tricks with their pictures of the raw cards, more often than not, they have something to hide. So you may have inexperienced sellers, which is one thing. And it's hard. I know what I'm saying is duplistic, but there's two things. You can have a guy who's been. I think it's more of, if you look at his ratings, if that guy's selling 20,000 and he's taking a picture all cockeyed and weird, you know something's up with the card. If it's a guy that has maybe 100, rating on eBay, and he's taking a picture that's not great, that's fuzzy, he just doesn't know what he's doing. So just look at that. That may be a chance where you can buy a really cheap card because they don't know what they're doing. But you're gambling. So make sure if you're going to make that gamble, don't pay top price for that raw card. The other thing I noticed, which I don't know why they don't go for as much, the red, white, and blue for Danny Jones, Jones and Kyler Murray. I would think they would go for more money. They match their jersey and uniforms. They look nice. They look really nice. Same thing with green for the Jets for Darnold. I think that actually does go for a little bit more money than it typically would because it matches his uniform. It looks nice. It looks much better than Lamar Jackson purple. Purple and green doesn't look too good. So I think that is a collectible. People will look at that and it'll catch their eye. I actually, it caught my eye, and I don't collect those guys. So if it caught my eye, imagine somebody who wants that guy and is looking for a card and go, wow, this card matches their uniform. It looks pretty good. Just something to think about. Maybe you can get it on the cheap. Maybe not. I'm just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there for you. What was the other thing? Oh man, I screwed up. I was doing research and looking up all this stuff where you got all these definitive answers on cards on the prices on cards. Yeah, no, I gave you a real direct. It's about sort of, because my memory, she doesn't know so good, and I don't write anything down. But I went to look for Sam Darnold, and I actually put in a bid for something because I saw that it was a low numbered card, and I'm not too upset about it. It was and I'm going to look it up because I just bought it. I didn't really want to. It's a Pop 1, so we got that going for us. A 2019 Panini Optic Orange Scope. It looked pretty cool. It's in a PSA 10. What really caught my eyes, it was to 79. So it was 33 out of 79. The guy was asking for $50. I put in 20. It just the automatic decline. And then I went for 25. Boom. And he accepted it right away. That's when I definitely know I spent way too much money on it. I didn't even look at... I actually did. I did look for solds, and I didn't see any on eBay. I'm sure there's one on ComC for $5 that I could have gotten, or $3. But it said Pop 1, PSA 10. But again, that's not why I bought it. I bought it, because I thought it was 2018. I said, wow, it looks pretty cool. And I got it because it was to 79. If he does great, it'll be a card that moves. And for $25, it's not. To me, it's pretty good. But I thought it was 2018, so I dropped the ball on that. What I also have is I use my eBay bucks, yes, all $4 of my eBay bucks, to buy my first insert. It was Aurora Kings of the Major League. I don't remember who the hell was it. I think it was Aurora. That's the thing. I don't even know. Like I told you, if you listened yesterday, I was talking about 1990s inserts. I didn't even know half these, card makers. But I looked to see their pops. I looked to see the cards and how it looked. And I liked the Alex Rodriguez, and I bought it for $5.99 plus $3.80 shipping. I had $4 or $5 on the eBay bucks, so I just used that. Solid looking card. See if I can get it graded. If not, whatever. It just looks nice, and it's pretty cheap. And it's I forget what it was, but there weren't too many of them out there. So that's why I grabbed it. And if it's cheap, there you go. So we got that going. I just posted a video, and I actually show you exactly what I do to look for 90s inserts. I even have a picture of myself. I was able to figure that out. So I am the bee's knees right now. So check out that on YouTube. I'm going to go to the website and exactly how I look for them and what odds I'm looking for as well. So we got that going for us. And I have to write that one article. I still haven't finished that. But guys, sign up, SVAcardcollectors.com. You can sign up there. Where you can, or I have in the description of the podcast and in YouTube and wherever, to sign up for the course. I've been producing more content, and probably a lot of this content that I'm producing will also be in the course as well. Again, it's all free, but it's going to make things a lot easier for you guys, so you have one place to go. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and you guys know what to do. Buy some cards, go broke. Later.